far, everything that we've offered for you, you have not seen other than the Gypsy. The Gypsy is the only fragrance that we've offered. This was saved exclusively for me. This is my favorite fragrance. It has been since the very beginning of time, and this is the Pheromone Destiny. Here's the reason why. It's all white flowers. So there are 7 individual perfect white flowers. Think about a bridal bouquet. They always smell lovely, right? Always smell really pretty. But I've never liked floral fragrances. And I said to Marilyn, I go, why do I love this fragrance so much? She said, there's no individual top note. So it's none individually that you pull out. It's the way that they blend together, which is the most unique design. It's actually the softest, prettiest, most feminine, all white floral bouquet that you can imagine. It's like powdery soft. It's such a beautiful fragrance. So I'll let Marilyn tell you about some of the individual fragrances.
And actually, you become the top note, Kathy. Yeah. It's very different on everyone, and this one has no top note, so it's a very curious fragrance because when you spray it and you smell it, there's not going to be anything much happening.
Right.
But later, 8 hours later, people walk by you and say, what is that you're wearing? It's just absolutely lovely. So you become the conductor of the beautiful orchestra of destiny. But you have your jasmine and your muguet and your calla lily, which is one of those grounded flowers, and your rose, which is that rose which actually is the heart chakra, and it's for unconditional love. And the osmanthus, which is so, so beautiful. And the narcisse is that little energy chakra, that personal one. And the white orchid, which gets its energy from the bark of a tree. And then you have a little molasses, a little vanilla, a little sandalwood, and it's the crystalline of this fragrance is so pretty.
It's so beautiful and feminine. And did we mention, by the way?
Oh my.
You are also receiving the tote. You don't make a purchase. When you call in today, it's not a purchase with purchase. Marilyn is actually giving you this nice, large, oversized tote. I think it's 17.5 inches by 11 inches in the overall height. Nice, lightweight, easy tote to carry with you. It's all beautifully lined on the inside of it as well. It's $29.90. You receive this, and you receive the 1.6 ounce size of the Destiny Eau de Parfum.
It's a $65.
So $65 alone, just for the fragrance. So to purchase the fragrance individually in the department stores, at Marilyn's Institute, any place else other than right here on HSN, is $65. Imagine walking in and having a brand new bottle of Eau de Parfum that you're purchasing, and you'll notice we say Eau de Parfum. This is not an Eau de Toilette. This is an Eau de Parfum, which means it is second only to the pure perfume.
And lasts
which means it's going to last a long time. This is a fragrance you won't necessarily notice on yourself. I have found there are times when I want to go back and I almost feel like I need to respray. And then I will walk by somebody, or I'll be in the grocery store.
That's right.
Or I was at a fast food restaurant one time, and Elaine goes, you smell really nice. And I saw her like lean across the counter, and she goes, is that you? You smell really good. We were sitting at a baseball game the other day, and we were up in the nosebleed section. And I always say, I'm a penthouse or outhouse kind of girl. It's like I'm in the nosebleeds, or, you know, I might get fortunate enough to be sitting right there. But we're up there, and then my friend goes, who smells so good? And she goes, it's you, isn't it? And she was like, leaned and she goes, it's really nice. She goes, I didn't notice it before. She said, but now that we're just kind of sitting here in close proximity, she goes, I really notice it. This has not been on for a long time, and we don't get a chance to do Destiny very often. There are only 1,300 of these to go around, and that's for the entire country, and over 200 people instantly saw it.
But as Kathy said, someone got a little close.
Yeah.
It's kind of a nuzzly fragrance. It's one that, as I said, doesn't have top notes, so as a result, if you get close to someone, you want to get closer, I think.
Yes.
Kathy. Yeah.
It's not the kind that when you hug somebody that it stays on them.
No, and it's not overwhelming. As a matter of fact, this is very subtle. And I know some of you in the healthcare industry just love this because it is understated, it is soft, it is feminine, and that's what we need.
Very interesting point that you bring up. When I used to visit my nephew when he was in the hospital, he was very conscious of any kind of fragrances from going through chemotherapy and different things. And I'm not saying that this is a cure-all or anything on that, but this was a fragrance that I could have on and I didn't feel like I had to remove.
And he
I
could
had
accept
to take
that.
off. My brother's very sensitive to smell. Same thing. He's like, he goes, no. He goes, you're always fine. Because my mom won't even wear fragrance. If she's going to lunch with my brother, like he really just does not like any kind of a fragrance. This is really wonderful. And he said to me, I said, I'm sorry, I'm like, you know, because sometimes I'll come straight from work. Maybe I've just worked with you. And, and he's like, he goes, no, he goes,
after you've
you're
been
always
with
fine.
me.
He goes, you are always fine. And I thought it's funny because it's that fragrance that there's no individual top notes. There's nothing that just reaches out
but it's
and grabs
altogether lovely.
It's just pretty and feminine and every single day. Very PTA friendly.
That's right.
Definitely something you can wear to school.
Wear friendly and the bank friendly.
And the elevator and all those places and airplanes. The places you think about maybe consciously not wearing a fragrance. I'm getting ready to take a long flight. I have a friend of mine who's getting married in Hawaii. I'm very conscious about those who are around me. This is that perfect fragrance because these are all individual white flowers. And the best way I can describe it is when you think of that beautiful bouquet, a bridal bouquet.
A wedding bouquet.
It's always beautiful. It's always pretty. And there's never any one individual. It's not like, oh, there's the rose. I can smell the rose, or I can smell the calla lily. There are no individual top notes in here. It just marries together, and it's absolutely lovely and beautiful.
And you become that conductor, that wonderful entity that makes it so beautiful and so special. And it becomes so personalized on you and so individual.
And that beautiful calla lily. I always think if I could describe Marilyn as a flower, you would be a calla lily. There's just something
didn't you have them at your wedding?
Yes, I did. I actually did because, as I told you, I was never much of a floral person. So I did. I had all these beautiful white calla lilies because
they don't make such a difference.
They're not overwhelming, but they're very statuesque. They're beautiful. They're long. They're elegant.
And that happens to be the base here of Destiny. And calla lily actually grows wild along the bank of a river, and it gets its nourishment, its energy from the water and from the earth. So it starts the chakra point, and each of these ingredients in Destiny match a chakra point and stimulate. You know, there's one that, the calla lily, then you have the sexual stimulant, and then as well the Foti Tieng, which is the sexual stimulant. And you know, I have fragrances, Foti Tieng is one of them, but I had a lot of them, and Kathy was, I tested her. I said, which one do you like? And guess which one she picked? The sexy one. That's our
Foti Tieng.
But it balances, but that is
She goes, which is your favorite? I said, this is the one. I said, I don't know what it is or something about this. She goes, you just chose the sexual stimulant.
That's
like,
right, and that's in this fragrance. And
Girl next door.
Well, you messed up the boys next door, so they could never be the same.
I adore Marilyn. You can see why this is always a pleasure and always a treat. For those of us who've worked here, I've worked with Marilyn all 22 years from the very beginning. That's what Marilyn said to me. She goes, how long have you been here? I said, I just started my 24th year. And she said, yeah, because you were just a baby when I first started in this. That was before I had children. So
we all were babies.
Before I was married, before I had children, everything.
That's right. Your babies weren't here yet.
So things definitely change. But that's what I've always loved about this fragrance is it's a very easy fragrance to wear. It's definitely one that I can wear. And I mean, there are times when we want to feel powerful and we want to feel a little bit sexier. But there are days that every single day, this is the get up and go, put it on, and then you can get up and go and put your steps in your tote.
Sure.
It's also really nice and lightweight. For those of you who are traveling, that is a great bag.
Always needs a little extra tote.
Yes.
And spray it with a little Destiny and watch the adventure begin.
Oh, Marilyn, that's such a good idea.
Sure.
Spray the inside. Marilyn also taught me spray the inside of your umbrella. Turns a rainy day into a better one.
And you sell a lot of shoes, so
it's one of my favorites.
When she has to take her shoes off.